Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining the channel again. This is Cash, and right now we are on our descent down to uh, approaching to Dominica today. Um, just setting up my init reference here for our landing. That way we could be able to make that approach and landing into Dominica. All right, so as per usual, we are actually, doing our, okay, so this is going to be a flaps 40 landing. We're landing on runway 27. I was going to do a runway 09er approach. However, the weather in the sim does not look good, and the weather in Dominica is pretty bad. So to mimic the realistic flight procedures, we're not going to be approaching runway 09er. Yummy. All right, so I'm just having lunch as we descend here. So this is over Guadeloupe. So the weather is pretty interesting around Guadeloupe, and we should be okay for our approach and landing into Dominica. Now, when I check our VATSIM radar, I'm seeing some rain on the approach for runway 27. I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna have some marginal showers. For now, Dominica, from what I'm looking out my window on the approach path, because I live right next to near the airport, so on the approach path I do see, just a little bit of light haze, and realistically there is rain outside on the ocean, but it's nothing nothing that is gonna be a cause for concern. So today we're auto brake 3 for our landing. We're flaps 40 landing, and we're just gonna go ahead and perform our approach briefing. If you notice, we do have rain on the approach. So our approach briefing today, we're landing run is gonna be an RNAV Yankee arrival into runway 27. Runway 27 in the sim is 5,700 feet long. In real life, it's 6,500 feet long, but no one's counting. Today we have significant weather to be expected, as we notice that Guadeloupe is having some rain. We're looking at our weather radar here. And our approach chart today, if we pull up on Navigraph here, we open in our chart overlay, and our chart for today is going to be chart 12-2, going to be a Cat C chart for the RNAV GNSS Yankee runway 27. We approach at Adver at 2,000, then Volab at 1,700. We won't perform the circling, but we will be engaging our approach mode to enter the approach path for runway 27. Now, Douglas Charles Tower is on 118.9. We'll go ahead and enter that in the box, and our decision altitude is at 940 feet, which we are going to go ahead and enter right now. All right. So for our go around, if in the event that at 940 feet we're not able to see the runway, we will go around, perform a go around with a right hand turn, climbing up back to 3,000 feet, and we'll re-enter the circuit for runway 27. Our auto brake, as mentioned previously, is going to be auto brake 3. We're going to be full flaps 40 for landing, and our VREF is at 124 knots. Bring it up to 127 knots, just as a precaution, so that we are not going to be falling into the issue we're going to be discussing next. Now, for runway 27, there is going to be some turbulence, which happens right at the threshold of the runway, almost like about 500 feet on the approach, right before you hit that seawall. Oh, there we go. We got some wind changes here. We do have some wind shear all the way up here. Our seatbelt signs are on, and yeah, so during our landing, we are to expect a little bit of turbulence right on the edge of the runway. We are also going to keep in mind for runway, if in the event that we do decide to do a runway 09er approach, we have to disengage our terrain awareness. So terrain awareness is not going to be needed for this if in the event that we are going to decide to take runway 09er, which is definitely looking like a no-go for us. Our transition altitude, if you notice, we're going to be down at 9,000 feet. So at 9,000, we'll call transition altitude. We'll switch over to our area QNH. Area QNH has been received, and we should be adjusting for that area QNH. Any questions? Guess no questions. Approach briefing is complete. Alrighty, yo. Look at these clouds, bro. This is real cool. I'm gonna take a quick snapshot of this, of our approach. I love how my sim looks. My sim looks amazing, to be honest. Sim looks great while we, perform our approach here. Alright, so we're busting through some clouds. Normally we would go this way, but we're not VFR, we're IFR. We're just going to go ahead and keep chugging along, bro. Alright, we need to slow down now. We don't want to be busting through 10,000 above 250 knots. All right, 118.9. Yep, there we go. 118.9 in the box. All right, we're slowing down as much as possible. We're coming through here, bolting, bro. So we are seeing some weather, some significant weather just around our approach here. Should not be affecting our arrival. Right, the aircraft is slowing down for the approach. Should be going down to 2,000 feet. All right, we're below 10,000. Our line of lights are going on. Let's go ahead and switch our engines to continuous firing here. All right, so I'm just waiting for us to get below 9,000 here. Although it showed that we need to switch over, but I'm waiting. All right, out of standard. 2995 set. Cross checks, 2995 set. It's going to be a pretty bold approach, making this arrival here today. Yep, if you notice, I'm not going to be doing that runway 09 approach. All this is just pure clouds. And this is indicative of exactly what we're experiencing today here in Dominica. And again, I'm having some lunch, so I gotta stop eating so I could land. All right, but we should not expect any rain, really. It is showing up as rain right here, but we should not expect any rain. Gonna prepare my stool. I usually prop my joystick up on a stool. I'm gonna be purchasing a yoke soon, so this prop up thing is not gonna be forever. I would most likely love to have a yoke right in front of me that I could move about and do everything that I need to do instead of having the joystick on the side there. Having the joystick is perfectly fine, but I would love a yoke instead. Now we're below 6,000. Thrust is armed. Supposed to be 2,000 down here, but it's still wasting time to get there. Let's help it a little bit. Let's give it a little nudge in the right direction. Just trying to get our airspeed down. Should be at 2,000 already. Using our speed brake so that we can get slowed down a lot quicker. I think it's going to get us up to what we would call in the Airbus field green dot speed, or right at the area where our first degree of flaps is manageable. So we'll get the first degree of flaps out. Now we're going to go ahead and call up to Douglas Charles traffic. Let him know that we're inbound for the arrival RNAV runway 27. Douglas Charles traffic, United 2848. We are inbound for the RNAV Yankee runway 27 approach. Descending through 3,500, about 2 miles from Volab, Douglas Charles. All right, so we're off Douglas Charles right now. We're going to go ahead and switch to 2. We're going to select our approach mode right now and allow the aircraft to get down to where it needs to be. All right, there we go. We are locked on. And we are inbound. So we're starting to turn in. I'm not seeing the runway yet, which is hella interesting. But we should be okay. All right, let's reduce our speed down to 140 knots. And the aircraft is inbound on its approach. So we are seeing some coast out there. We should be reasonably okay for this approach and landing. 2997 set. What degree we're at? Flaps 5, switching to flaps 10. And okay, so I can see the coast. And we are pretty much on a crosswind here. Gear down, increasing our flaps. Flaps 25. All right, so there's the rain, and we do see the runway. All right, so we're reducing to our VREF, 125. Let's go ahead and flaps to full. Oh, we still got our speed brake out. Get our speed brake in. Speed brake is armed, and landing checklist, landing gear, down and lock, 3 greens, flap select 40, 40 indicated, 40 set, green light, and auto brake set to 3. Minimums is checked, and all right, lights are on. We're gonna go ahead and get the APU started. For landing checklist is complete. We could have taken runway 09 though, which is very interesting. We could have done it, but it's fine. Right, let's take a look at the outside of the aircraft. Here we go. That's so beautiful. It's an amazing view of the wing contrails as we fly in. The flap contrails actually, not the wings. The wingtip vortices, sorry. And again, if this is stuttering for you guys, it's not stuttering for me. It's pretty smooth all the way in. I'm guessing that again because of my recording and my type of CPU, it's not sufficient for streaming. So things happen, and that's something that is out of my control. Okay, 100 above, 1,000 feet.
Minimum.
Continue.
Approaching 5,700 feet available.
Did it say caution short runway? If it does not, then it's pretty cool. All right, we're kind of rocking a little bit.
Caution! Short runway! Short runway!
All right, here we got landed.
400. 300.
Here we go.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Two thousand
All right, manual
feet
braking.
remaining.
Okay, that was very interesting landing. I almost got it in the worst of ways. All right, so thanks again, guys, for joining me on this flight here today. Welcome to Dominica. Douglas Charles traffic, United 2848, we're backtrack runway 09er, exiting at Charlie for parking.
On runway 09. 4,500 feet remaining.
All right, here we go. RPU is okay right now. Let's go ahead and do our after landing here. For some reason, landing on 27 always does this. Landing from 09 is never as difficult as this. Not difficult, but the landing on 09 does not give me the stutters that 27 gives me whenever I'm landing. But again, it's using up a lot of resources, so it is expected. Correction, Douglas Charles traffic, United 2848, we're exiting at Alpha for parking. Alright, sorry about that. I do have a little bit of a throat, whatever is going on, but it's okay. There's our guy for parking, so he's right off the side right there. Already see him, so we're on Alpha for parking. Alright, our brakes are okay. We're not overheating our brakes. Alright, so gonna turn in here. Definitely need to upgrade my CPU just to prevent. Alright, so we're off the runway. Let's go ahead and switch off our landing lights and our strobes, put them to this. And we're gonna go ahead and taxi into position here. For some reason, this guy didn't decide to bring me all the way up there, which would have been perfect. But this is how it goes here in Dominica. Every time I land, this has always been where I have to park with this aircraft. All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. Oh, all right. So, think he's okay with that. Our engine. Let's go ahead and get our APU engaged, and then let's go ahead and disconnect. Shut down our engines. And again, guys, welcome to Dominica. It was a pretty interesting flight. Again, the landing was pretty nice with no issues at all. I was not expecting that to be as bad as it shows up for you guys, but it was pretty sweet. The landing was pretty smooth. I had no issues performing this landing here in Dominica. Let's go ahead and get rid of our bleeds here, and let's go ahead and check our ground ops. This is, let's set our chocks, and let's request our ground power. All right, ground power is available. Ground power is set. APU is off. And now we're going to go ahead and switch off our fuel pumps. Request deboarding.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Whatever you say, G6. Deboarding is requested and seatbelt signs are off. Alrighty-o, so we are all good to go here. It was a perfect flight, pretty smooth landing. And the pirate does seem to be filed. Oh, sweet. We're gonna check our landing rate here today. Oh yeah, it auto-filed it.
Passengers bus is coming.
Okay, so for some reason it showed up. I'm not able to see my logbook. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, that was ridiculous. I touched down at 9 feet per minute. At 124 knots, that was ridiculous. Alright, yo, well, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this stream right now so that I can go ahead and continue my work. I'm actually working at this time, so I just took the short time to go ahead and do this flight here. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me on this stream, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll just look at the deboarding happening, and then we should be all squared away. Have a great day, guys.